Here's why Brian Hartline would be a hand-in-glove fit for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Hartline was rumored to have met with Penn State earlier last week, leading up to the Penn State-Ohio State game, interviewing for their head coach position. Whether that is actually true or not, some people close to me have said it is true, but they can't completely verify it. I believe that Hartline would be a perfect fit for Penn State. I will also be making a future video talking about why I think Brent Key would be a perfect fit for Penn State. He is another person of interest who's been rumored to have met or be meeting with Penn State sometime in the near future. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. Let's check out Brian Hartline, though. So, he's perfect because he's been mentored by the best. And we've seen before, whether it is Dan Lanning, DC under Smart, assistant under Saban, Ryan Day, OC, an assistant under Urban Meyer, whether we have, and Chip Kelly too, credit Chip Kelly's influence, or whether it is, say, Steve Sarkisian, OC under Nick Saban, OC under Pete Carroll. You get the idea. Curt Cignetti, Saban assistant. A lot of the best head coaches and Mavericks at one point were assistants of other greats. And that is Hartline. So Hartline, he's been in high-pressure situations. He has been in a highly competitive job. He took Zach Smith's wide receiver room, which was good, full of athletes, and he made it way better than it was then, upgraded it. I mean, Zach Smith has even said on his podcast that Hartline told him, I want your job. Like that takes courage. That takes some level of gumption and courage to tell someone, I want the job you have right now. I want that. I want to replace you. And I imagine he's had the same thoughts about the OC position at Ohio State, maybe the head coaching position at Ohio State. He is a alpha personality, a go-getter, tireless worker, and similar to Cignetti and similar to Day, similar to all these great coaches, has that arrogance about him that isn't crippling, but that is the sense of, I want to be the best, so I got to think I'm the best all the time, and I'm going to tirelessly work and outdo everyone because I'm that guy. Like that type of arrogance. I mean, some might just call that confidence. He's been mentored by the best. Urban Meyer and Ryan Day, who won each at Ohio State a national title. Day's won 1 Big Ten title. Meyer has won 3 Big Ten titles at Ohio State. Also came from the school that has owned Penn State year over year over year. So you're taking away from a rival, but more importantly, you're getting the blueprint from the team that's owned you for now, I believe it's 9 straight years? Yeah, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 9 straight years. Another reason why it'd be a perfect fit is that Hartline is an elite talent evaluator. Name me a receiver of his that didn't deal with crippling injuries that was a bust, like collegiately, not NFL. You cannot. I actually think Jaden Ballard, I forget, maybe, did he deal with any injuries? I think maybe 1 or 2. Fleming dealt with them every year. The others that have stayed healthy and that were viewed as elite at one point or another coming out of high school have panned out. So you are talking about Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tate, Chris Olave, Diamond in the Rough, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Emeka Ibuka, Marvin Harrison Jr., like 7 first-round wide receivers. It's insane. And it's not as if one of Quincy Porter Jr. or Chris Henry Jr., if they're developed by him, will be a guaranteed first-round wide receiver at one point, maybe both of them. I know Innis hasn't exactly panned out as Ohio State fans would have wanted, but he's at least a good college receiver. I don't think he's a total bust. He's just not elite, at least right now, and he could evolve into that maybe at some point. 5 first-round receivers are drafted, and 2 more at the minimum are projected to be drafted in round 1. It's incredible stuff. He is the best position coach of all time. That, along with his leadership in that room and the consistency, are check marks in the boxes to become a head coach at a blue blood like Penn State. He's the ideal personality fit. I mean, we've already talked about this, but let's expand upon this for a minute. So at Ohio State, if you don't do well in a game, in a season, if you don't do well, you're fired. In a game, if you don't do well, the fans wish you were fired, even if you do well in every other aspect. The fans will cuss you out. The fans will call you all types of stuff. Ohio State fans, for the most part, are wonderful, but there's always a loud minority. And at Ohio State, especially because of the high expectations and the size of the fan base, it is a louder than usual minority of fans that are toxic, to say the least. And Ohio State fans will even laughingly admit to this. Hartline this year, I've heard people call him all types of mean, nasty names. I have heard people beforehand overly critique his wide receiver development. No one will ever pay him the respect that he truly deserves as long as he's at Ohio State. It's a part of the job. It's the same thing with Ryan Day. A lot of people right now are saying that Day is the inheritor of the Saban dynasty, which is way over the top, insane, and dangerous. And it's dangerous because the minute he loses again, they will call for his head. It will be that bipolar flip of the switch, which is really unfair to him. It's part of the job at Ohio State. It's the same thing at Alabama, and those are the 2 best programs in college football history. There's no coincidence that attitude primarily resides there. He's the ideal personality fit at Penn State because despite the fact that Penn State fans, at least the loud minority, are not that rabid, the AD and athletic department, I think, is getting to a point where they are as hungry as Ohio State's is. They want to win it all. That will be a high-pressure situation. To succeed the guy who helped Penn State back from sanctions and who reached the playoffs and appeared in Indy twice, and that wasn't good enough, and now they want to take that next step in a post-NIL and portal world, that requires a guy who can handle high pressure and balance listening to authority with doing things his own way. That's the ideal personality fit for Penn State, is what Brian Hartline has. And last point is he is a young blue-collar coach. He is not this person who came from old money and inherited something amazing and just rode that to death. He, again, improved Ohio State's receiver room, made it a historic, greatest of all time caliber unit, and he's young. He's interviewed for head coaching spots before, like for the West Virginia head coaching job. Someday he will be a head coach, and I think that Penn State should consider pulling the trigger here, because imagine if this pans out and he can recruit receiver. He knows, because he, as the OCN wide receivers coach, is to go up against elite defensive talent every day, and you have the, elite offense that he's around all the time with his receivers and learning how to work his receivers with the offense as a play caller. He knows what type of talent it takes to win it all. He's been in high pressure, big rivalry, big game spots before. Think of all of those Michigan games, a lot of the Penn State games, the playoff run last year, the Oregon game last year, the Notre Dame game in 2023. Think about that. This would be perfect. Pending the staff additions or who he retains from that staff, I'd grade it as an A+ hire. Brian Hartline to Penn State just makes sense. He's not the only candidate at Penn State that would make sense. I think Penn State's a wonderful job. I think it's well positioned to become a top 5 program if it takes certain steps. And Hartline's one of those coaches for Penn State where if they get him, I think they will be taking steps towards winning a national championship at some point. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.